the LCR framework is a perfect combination to make sure that we've always got new leads coming in, we're always building goodwill and value to help with sales conversion, then we're retargeting, so the hottest leads that are already booking in to have the conversation with us. So if you can set up those 3 pillars in your business, you're going to tick all the boxes, because if you're missing one, let's say you're just doing the leads part, then you're going to have very poor conversion, and also you're missing out on the retargeting when they are ready to buy. If you're just doing content, then it can be hard to measure the input to output ratio. Never turn the marketing tap off. Today I'm going to teach you a framework, LCR, to make sure that your business always has leads coming in and there's a pipeline of clients, so you never have that feast and famine relationship with marketing. And the reason why I want to have this conversation is I'm into my 15th year of company ownership, and being in the agency space, we work with business owners and we get to see their relationship and when they sabotage their marketing when it comes to growing their business. And one of the biggest mistakes, and I've been guilty of this myself, is when you get booked out and you've got too much work on the table and you decide to pump the brakes, when in reality, marketing through that period where you can build a wait list, you can handpick the clients and projects that you work on, you can put your prices up, you've got all this freedom and flexibility because you're in charge, because demand exceeds what you can supply. You can even hire to be able to take on more work, sell more products, do more projects as well. But I've sabotaged myself over the 15-year journey where things have been going really, really well, pump the brakes on marketing, and then come back in and start marketing when it's more of a famine cycle where there's scarcity and you need the work. So how do we fix this so it doesn't happen? And if you're new here, welcome to the Content Marketing Podcast. My name is Witnish. I'm the co-founder of Content Only. Our agency creates in the region of 500 original videos and posts for our clients every single month. You can download our 30 days content in 30-minute system absolutely free at contentonly.au. Let's tackle the first letter in the framework, L, which stands for lead generation. So this is having a campaign that runs 24/7 around the clock, and it's filling your business up with new leads. Now, these leads are going to be at different points in their decision-making timeline. Some may be ready to buy sooner than later, some might not be ready for a while, and some may not ever buy at all, which is generally going to be the case when you're attracting leads. But what you want to do is have an offer that's out in the marketplace on the right platform for your target audience that really lets them sample or get access to a watered down version of what you do in a paid capacity. So whether that's a test drive, a demonstration, a sample, I've spoken about this on other podcast episodes. It could be a case study where you just show, here's where a client was, this is what we did with them, and here's the outcome and the results. And what we're doing in our agency, so you understand that the strategies, we've pivoted. We had a funnel that looked very different last year. We drove people to contentonly.au. They would download the 30 days in 90 minutes content creation system, then go into our database where there'd be a series of communications. Now we still give away the system. It's still the offer that we lead with because that's the service, the done for you service that we provide, but we drive them into a school community. And the reason why I've chosen that route, and it's so far so good, working really, really well. I think yesterday we were up to 56 leads in the first couple of weeks, costing just over $6 Australian each to join the community. With the school approach, we can be front and center with people regardless of where they're at in their buying decision timelines or their journey at any point in time. And we put all our IP, so all these podcast episodes that you're listening to, they get put into the group. There's daily goodwill and value poured into the community in terms of content and strategies. There's the actual system that they can download and access. So some people will jump in and go, yes, I just want it done for me right now. That's a problem that I need solved. And they will become clients much sooner. There'll be many that are curious, that may not realize they have the problem when it comes to content creation yet. And they might come and reach out down the track when they're like, hey, I've tried everything and I'm just not getting it done. Let's talk. But all that goodwill and all that engagement and value is already in place. So it's going to be a much smoother sales conversation. And then there'll be a percentage of people that just get the value, that never buy, but they'll be ambassadors because they've got to sample and get all these free strategies and ideas that they can take into their businesses, or maybe they can implement it internally and get some really cool results. So they could be really powerful referrers. But the fact that they're in the community means we're always engaging all of our prospects all the time. I can send them messages, I can email the community a couple of times a week or more frequently if I like. But if I'm constantly front and center with value and then circling back to, hey, when you're ready, book in a chat and let's customize and personalize the 30 days in 30-minute system for you, then we're consistently going to have people booking in that are ready to discuss the service, people that are moving further along the buying timeline, and then people that are just going to be good advocates. So what is it that you can introduce into your business that can create that community culture? Because it's getting much, much harder now to engage leads. And if someone opts in at your website to try and get onto them and try and have that conversation and move them along the buying process is more and more challenging, which is why having that school approach, which is SKOOL, and having people in there means they're also getting to see other people that have gone through the experience, worked with the service, got the outcome, and seeing it work for them. So it just ticks all the boxes. And maybe it's a path that could work for your business. If you're in an advisory industry where you offer consulting services or even done-for-you services, can you grow a community that gives away some of what you do for free, your processes, your strategies, your systems, and then the ones that want the done for you or the done with you approach can jump into that paid service with you. So for me, so far, it's a massive tick, and we're going to commit to this strategy long term, and all our leads are going to now go into joining our school community 24/7. So back to your business. What can you have that's constantly filling up your lead pipeline? What's the offer? What's the strategy where you've just got an ad ticking over? So we run a ad on Meta, so it goes across Facebook and Instagram, and we run a relatively low budget for an agency. And as I mentioned, leads are coming in at just over $6. They're a bit lower at one point there. And then at any point we can scale that and we can increase the spend. And if we want more leads, we simply increase the budget. Now, the way that we set up these campaigns is actually with open targeting. So we write a very simple ad, has a couple of different variations of images, has a simple headline, hey, free course, 30 days content in 30 minutes. That's the offer. And you just put a headline in that has your offer when you're creating one of these ads. Then you have what they get. So here's what you get when you jump in the free course and have all the benefits or the key takeaways that they get, and then jump in. And the link goes obviously to, in our case, to the school community. Yours will go to your offer. And then we set up the pixel on Meta and Facebook so it can track who's registered in the community. And then what we do, which is the R, which we'll go to later, is the retargeting part, which I'll talk about. Now, C is the middle piece. That's content. So LCR. And what the content does is it's constantly building that goodwill. A lot of people that generate leads and have poor conversion, the missing ingredient they have is a lack of content. So prospects download the lead magnet, get access to whatever it is, go to check out that company on social media, and there's no videos, there's no posts. So the trust that they have in this company starts to diminish, and therefore they're not confident enough to move forward with a buying decision. But if you've got great content that's consistently going out and you're front and center and visible, and you keep building that trust and that expert gap, that's where sales becomes relatively painless and easy, because people will generally reach out when they're ready to make a buying decision. So if you're getting ghosted or you've got a very low sales conversion, consider, what does your content footprint look like? And do you need to do a quick sprint where you get some content out into the marketplace, showcasing how you're different, how you add value, how you deliver results for clients, so it can assist with converting more of those leads into paying customers. And if you want to see how to create 30 days content in 30 minutes, jump in the school community at contentonly.au so you can see how to do that just using a conversational approach to create content for your target clients and repurposing that into videos and posts that add value to those customers or future customers. So getting that content piece dialed in the right places and the right platform can make a huge difference to, one, always being omnipresent front and center with your target audience, two, consistently building that goodwill and trust that ultimately helps people buy without price sensitivity, without the objections that we often see when they just don't have that trust. There's that doubt, that fear factor, or that not sure. So they wait, or they kick things down the road and they just don't move forward, or they say, yes, I'm interested, but they never actually commit to a decision. And you live in that hopium place where you're hopeful that someone might come through because they've said, yes, I'm interested, but they actually never step over the line and jump in and get started. So that content piece is really, really important because it lifts the lead generation and helps convert more into sales, and it keeps you front and center with people regardless of where they're at in their buying timeline. And then the final piece is retargeting. So to make sure that we're always back front and center with our hottest prospects, the ones that are consuming content, the ones that have taken taken up our lead magnet offer. We have this very low budget campaign ticking in the background that's more direct to what we actually offer as a paid solution. So in our case, we talk about applying for our 30 days in 30 minutes content creation system, and we run that retargeting campaign, and we go through, hey, here's what you get when you work with us. It's very simple. It's a video. It's about 2 or 3 minutes, and then it goes to a Calendly link where people can apply to come on board as a client of Content Only. So that means that we're constantly getting new leads. We're constantly adding value, educating them, building trust transference, creating an expert gap regardless of where they're at in their buying timeline. And then we're retargeting, saying, hey, when you're ready, here's our offer. Here's what we can do for you. And then people, when they get to that point where they're ready to pull the trigger, they book in and have that conversation. So for me, the LCR framework is a perfect combination to make sure that we've always got new leads coming in. We're always building goodwill and value to help with sales conversion. Then we're retargeting, so the hottest leads that are ready are booking in to have the conversation with us. So if you can set up those 3 pillars in your business, you're going to tick all the boxes. Because if you're missing one, let's say you're just doing the leads part, then you're going to have very poor conversion, and also you're missing out on the retargeting when they are ready to buy. If you're just doing content, then it can be hard to measure the input to output ratio. At least when you're spending X money on advertising, you know, okay, this generates X amount of leads leads to X amount of people applying for our services, which leads to X amount of clients. You can actually start to scale and, I guess, future pace your business results. So you want to make sure you have all these ingredients, and then if you weren't retargeting, you're just missing out and saying, hey, here's what we can do for you. When you're ready, book in, let's go, which will get a lot more people to pull the trigger when they're at that point where they know they need your solution. So that's the LCR framework. Never turn that tap off, and that's a message to myself. And we'll never not have leads coming in every day. We'll never not be positioning ourselves with goodwill, creating the expert gap to help with sales, and never not retargeting with, hey, here's what we can do for you when you're ready to come and join us. So if you want help or support, if you have any questions about that based on your business, just pop it in the comments below, because I understand that you're probably in a different industry, in a different space, you have different types of clients, and I can help give you a little bit of direction on how you could apply that framework based on who your clients are and what your service area is. But again, if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe or follow button so you can catch all new future episodes on demand. And of course, jump in the school community to learn absolutely free at contentonly.au.